Usher, nice and slow. How about no, Usher? So I was telling you, it's inconvenient to be black. I live in Calabasas. I've lived there for 15 years. There's a lake called Lake Calabasas. They give you a pass every year, so the residents of that lake, in addition to their homeowner fees, they can run around the lake. Right? LaDonna runs around the lake all the time. That's her workout. She walks around the lake all the time. And every day that she walks around, we had this conversation for a brief bit yesterday. Every day she walks around the lake, same guy asks her for a pass. Same guy all the time. She has her pass. You know, you're supposed to have your pass out. She has a fanny pack, which I already think is silly, but she has the pass hanging out, right? So she told me that it was happening. So yesterday I decided to run around the lake with her. I see the guy. We get into a verbal altercation. I say, you see her all the time. You know she has the pass. I don't want her feeling unsafe. We don't want any more problems. We don't have to do this anymore, right? I make a big fuss, a big enough fuss, and all the people that he stopped were all black. All of them. All 4 people that he stopped were black. So I call the office. I make a complaint. I make such a stink about it. I figure it's over. I'm going to work out. So today I go work out. I get a call from LaDonna. LaDonna's like, well, where you at? And I could tell by her voice that something was wrong. I said, I'm just finished working out. She said, don't come down here, which means I'm coming down. Same guy who I had the altercation with yesterday, the security guard, asked her for a pass again. And when she was slow giving it to him because she had just had this conversation with him yesterday, he calls the sheriff. Wow. The county sheriffs come out to Calabasas, the Tennyson Center in Calabasas around the lake, and they proceed to harass my wife. And they asked her for a pass, and they're like, she's like, I don't feel safe around him. And they're like, you don't, everything's fine. So LaDonna calls me. I didn't know this, but she said, don't come down here. She deliberately didn't call me till after the sheriffs had left. And I said, girl, that's not your prerogative to call me after something's happened, and you having 3 dudes that you're talking to, and they're harassing you. Well, I didn't want nothing to happen. Your job is not to do my job for me. My gig, the only one I've ever had, and the only thing I think the reason men exist, and I said that earlier, is to protect and provide for their family. That to me is unacceptable that my wife be in a position like that. Not because I'm famous, because I'm a man. So I come down there. I call the police again. They say they can't come down. They say that it is, it's a civil matter. And I said, that is why we can't get along, because you did this to make my wife feel uncomfortable. But now we can't rectify the situation with you there. I said, what do you think is going to happen if this man keeps doing that to my wife? What do you think I'm going to do? You think I'm just going to allow that to happen? That's not going to happen. It won't be lawyers. I'm never going to allow a man, I don't care what you do or suicide, to keep harassing my woman. It's not going to happen. So I stay there. The supervisor comes. The supervisor comes over to me, and he said, we're sorry. We've had complaints about this guy. He also says this. He said the residents don't like that so many black people run around the lake, and shows me that in this notebook. Here's my thing. It is inconvenient as hell to be black. My first inclination was to tell my wife, hey, if they don't want you around, they don't run around like that's what I would do. I wouldn't be in a situation where somebody didn't want me. I just wouldn't go. I am not her. She has every right to run around that lake. My job is not to make sure that her job is not to make sure I'm protected. My job is to make sure she is. I am going to sue them. They are going to be sorry. I promise you that. And not because I want money, and not because I want notoriety, because I want my woman to feel safe in her neighborhood. I want her to be entitled to the same respect they give everybody else. And you know what? Respect costs, and it's going to cost a lot. I'm calling a Jewish dude as soon as the show is over, I promise. One of the sons of Abraham will be visiting you directly. That's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazzy report coming out right after Music Soul Child. It's the D.L. Hughley Show. Get my lawyer on the phone.